Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with this week's 2-minute fishing report. Well, folks, finally this past weekend we had a decent stretch of weather before, old man winter and old man wind came back at us in full force. But guys were able to get out Friday and Saturday. The Missouri River continues to do really well, and a lot of guys are snap jigging out there for walleyes. And we'll talk about that in Todd's tackle tips. Otherwise, really, as far as presentations are concerned around area lakes, jigs and minnows are doing the trick right now. The guys are putting the walleyes are putting the feed bag on, and they're having quite a bit of luck just throwing jigs and minnows, crappie rigs and minnows, you name it. That seems to be the trick. And definitely the bite is better in the late afternoon and evening hours right now, the way it looks. Some of the lakes have produced walleyes this past weekend that we've heard of, and again, the reports over the entire week were fairly slim, but it really concentrated on Friday and Saturday. But up in the northeast, Wabae, Bitter, Reeds, as well as Enemy Swim, and then also a few being caught at Indian Springs, and then also at Antelope. And then down the southeastern part of the state, 81 Ponds, Thompson, Ponset, Dry Lake, Madison, Brant, as well as as well as Island, all produce some nice walleyes, especially again late afternoon and evening using jigs and minnows. The perch bite again has been very temperamental, but guys that went out there and caught perch on Ponset as well as Big Stone and then also Hendricks, those would be the three main ones. Also a few guys caught a few perch at Thompson as well as Island. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about something that we've discussed before, and that's snap jigging. And the reason why we're going to talk about it again is because a lot of people have been using that presentation for the past couple of weeks and have had quite a bit of success, especially on the Missouri River. Now, what is snap jigging? Well, it's using baits like the jigging wrap, the Johnson Johnny Darter, the Northland Puppet Minnow, or the Moonshine Shiver Minnow, and you're casting that large profile bait out, letting it hit the bottom, and then tighten in line and then snap it towards you, and that causes that lure to dart up, and then it will fall back down. And 9 times out of 10, that strike will occur as that bait is falling or descending back to the bottom. If you're just trolling along in the boat, what you can do is drop it along the boat, tighten the line, and then snap it towards the front of the boat and let it fall back. Snap it towards the front, let it fall back. And again, the majority of the time, the strikes will occur as that bait is falling. And the reason why we're talking about it is that a lot of people are using it, as I mentioned, and they're using the larger profile baits, and we have plenty of those baits on hand, whether or not you're talking about the puppet minnows, the Johnny Darters, the jigging wraps, but especially the Moonshine Shiver minnows. A lot of guys are using that because of the different profile and also some unique colors. So again, make sure you stop on by. If you don't know what we're talking about and not really familiar with snap jigging, stop on by and we can help you better understand what to do. So again, make sure you stop on by, check out the great selection of snap jigging lures that we have on hand for your next trip out on the lake. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-minute fishing report, please send it to me. Send it to todd@dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And if I use your photo, your name will be entered into a monthly drawing for a $25 gift certificate. And before we end this week's report, I want to remind you again to continue to mark your calendars and spread the word for us for the Dakota Angler Ice Institute, November 8th through the 10th at the Sioux Falls Arena. Folks, as I mentioned before, it's bigger and better than ever. You will not want to miss it. I can guarantee you this much, you will never find prices as low as what they'll be at the Institute. So make sure you stop on by, and again, November 8th through the 10th. If you have any questions about it, give us a call at 605-336-9132. And then also talking about ice fishing, you can see behind me, we're continuing to get more and more ice fishing stuff out. We have a great selection of all the new lures and shacks and augers, you name it, right here at the store. But you can also, again, see them, all the latest and greatest, at the Ice Institute, November 8th through the 10th. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-minute fishing report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next time, and again, thanks for watching.